The sun's on the move, the equinox is coming, spring has sprung. What does it mean in the stars?
Yes, that's right. Today, the sun, it's the equinox, which is the day that the sun goes into the sign of Aries. So you got to make sure you don't forget to do that pagan ritual and dance naked, burn money for prosperity today. So
Just a dollar bill.
yeah, because you don't get any more if you burn a 20. I tried that once and it didn't make a difference. So. But whenever the sun changes signs, it's where our energies are going to be directed. It's been in the sign of Pisces for the last 30 days or so. And that's kind of a malaise. It's kind of it's just not a very energetic sign because it's a water sign. Well, now the sun today is going into Aries, which is a cardinal, meaning I'm the boss, fire sign, and it's time for new starts all the way across the board, regardless of your zodiac sign. But where that new start is predicated, of course, on where your zodiac sign is. So for Aries, this new start is about them. It's about them getting their wants and their needs met. Venus has been in their sign. Mars has been in their sign. And so they are now fired. Now that they know what it is they want to do, now they're ready to put it into effect, put it into action, which is a cool thing. For Tauruses, this is the end of their solar year. It's time to just take a step back and kind of regroup a little bit. It's a time because there will be plenty of stuff for them to do because Mars is in their sign. But they need to take advantage of the break while they can. That kind of a thing.
Yeah, as Pat gets the taxes done and now waits for grandbaby number 3 to arrive.
Yeah, then she'll have 3 to juggle. That's, just, God bless her. One is all I can handle. 3. For Geminis, this is a time for them to really go ahead. They've talked about what their agenda is, and now it's time to get the group to help the Gemini get what it is that the Gemini has said that they want. And if they're smart, they will let the group do the work and then take the credit for it themselves. And it's going to be their male friends rather than their female friends that help them out. For Cancers, this energy is in the 10th house of career and public standing. And it is time for Cancers to be assertive, not aggressive, but assertive. And Cancer is a rather passive kind of sign. It's not a big fan, unless you're George Steinbrenner. But it's normally a very passive kind of a sign. They cannot be passive. They need to be proactive professionally. But there's a fine line between being assertive and being aggressive, and they do not want to be aggressive. They want to go for the assertive energy and to be innovators. For Leos, legal matters, educational matters, contracts, negotiations, all of that is in the spotlight over the next 3 or 4 weeks or so, and they can cut a pretty good deal for themselves, but they need to reach out and meet someone halfway. If they do that, it's sort of like give a little, get a lot in a negotiation kind of a deal, but the law's on their side, and you know how I feel when the law's on your side.
Use it.
You need to use it. For Virgos, it's about jointly held resources. It's about other people's money. It's about making sure you don't overspend on something. And it's a matter of maximizing an existing resource rather than looking for another resource. And they have to be, again, assertive financially, but not aggressive. But the inclination is going to be to take aggressive action, and I don't recommend that. For Libras, this Aries energy is in their 7th house of partners and professionalism, as well as open enemies. And Libras have been trying very hard over the last couple of months or so to partner up because they know that they work better in a team than they do alone. But they have to be really careful not to align themselves with an enemy. Rather than, and the thing is that they're going to perceive them as allies, and they need to just make sure they understand what people want from them and what. It's one thing for the Libra to go ahead and do stuff, but make sure they get something in exchange from the people they are partnering up with. For Scorpios, it is in their house, their 6th house of work, health, and responsibility, and they need to be proactive. There's some sort of health matter they have been procrastinating about, and they need to go ahead and get it done and just deal with it. And they also need to be proactive in working inside their work structure. There's an existing work structure, but they need to be the leader inside of that structure and be the innovator if they can. For Sagittarius, it's a great time. Ton of fun, good time, sports, amusement, pleasures, anything entertaining. Good time to fall in love, good time to fall in lust. Good time just to have a good time for Sagittarians. For Capricorns, 4th house of home and foundations. There is something going on at home. They either modify their home or something that they want to do at home. And they need to be very, very assertive about it and not procrastinate. And then for Aquarians, it's in the 3rd house of day-to-day living. And there's a lot of short distance, short duration travel in store over the next 30 days or so. And they can cut themselves a pretty good deal. They have fairly good negotiating skills, and they can do that. And then for the last sign for Pisces, it's in their 2nd house of money. And they need to find a way to make more money. I don't think they have. I think that they've stretched their budget as tight as they can, and they need to find another income source. And it's going to take proactive effort on their part to make that come to be. So if anybody to dance naked and burn money for prosperity today, it's the Pisces.
That's what I was about to say.
Tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Sounds good. We'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure.